Hello everyone, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This time I am reviewing the DC Multiverse Black Lantern Superman action figure. This is made by Mcfarlane Toys in 2022. I bought this through an online store in 2022. And here it comes in a nice open window box. Well, not open, but it has a window box, so we can see the action figure and we can see the accessories that it comes with. This is part of the Atrocitus Collect-To-Build action figure. This is the fourth one out of 4, and if we look at the legs there, it looks like the Atrocitus action figure is going to be pretty tall, so I'm happy about that. And anyway, here is the front of the box where we can inspect the items inside before we buy it. And here is the top of the box, window box that lets in more light. Here's the bottom of the box with some manufacturing information. One side of the box where it tells us this is Black Lantern Superman from Blackest Night. The other side, another window letting in more light, and it's also labeled as Black Lantern Superman. And here is the back where it shows us a picture of Atrocitus, the Collect-To-Build figure, and how the different parts are put together. The other action figures in this wave. So in just a moment I will open this up and review the action figure itself. Here's the Black Lantern Superman action figure. This action figure comes with a couple of accessories. Here is an action figure stand with one peg here for the peg hole in the heel, and it says DC there. So this is useful for making some of these action figures stand. And here is a trading card with a nice picture of the Black Lantern Superman. On the back is a little biography about this particular action figure. So this is the Superman of Earth 2, which was killed in Infinite Crisis and then was resurrected by a black power ring and became a Black Lantern Superman and attacks the Superman of Earth 1. So it's a little confusing. I'm not sure which Superman is which anymore. Perhaps that changed since I first read the comic books way back in the 1980s or so. And I also watched the Super Friends cartoons, so probably a lot more complicated now than it used to be. So let's take a look at how tall this action figure is. We can see that it's a little more than 7 inches tall, or about 18 centimeters tall. Let's take a look at the details here. So this is a Black Lantern Superman, so it's basically a super powered zombie Superman, and it's kind of ugly. So personally, I don't really care for zombies, but these seem like interesting action figures, so I certainly put in a lot of effort to make it look like a zombie and kind of dead and yucky, and so they painted it and sculpted it. So I guess they did a nice job to make it look as ugly as it does look, so yuck. Anyway, looking at the rest of this, now looks like this Superman is wearing short sleeves, so this is supposed to be his skin here, so it does feel a little rough, and they painted it to match the face. So this Superman is wearing short sleeves. It's a nice symbol, S shield. So I do like the color scheme, you know, the black outfit and the silver S shield, so really kind of neat. And this shield extends down here with a little bit of plastic hanging over the diaphragm cut there. And then the Black Lantern symbol, apparently there's a little circle and kind of this silver triangle thing. That's an extra plastic piece that sticks out. So they did a nice job painting it. Looks like the paint is nice and straight, and a lot of musculature sculpted in there. So we also have his fists. So it's painted to match the skin of the arms and the head, so looks alright. And then some nice boots here, some silver boots. And if we look here, we can see some different colored plastic here. So I'm not sure that was intentional. Maybe it's just a byproduct of the different kinds of plastic for the different parts. So here's a part, and then some joints are in here. So they have different colored plastic. Perhaps they couldn't get it to match very well. Bottoms of the feet with peg holes. And the back here, we have a very tattered Superman cape. So it's black on one side and kind of white on the other side. Looks like it's 3 different pieces. So the zombie Superman's cape has been tattered. So it's attached in 3 different places here. Very, very pliable plastic, so we want to be careful. We don't want to pull on it too much. That might come off eventually. So I'm going to have to be careful with that. But no other real details on the back there. Just some of the painting continuing on the back here, and then a nice sculpture. And this part here, this middle part, seems to be kind of a different colored plastic, kind of a rubbery texture to allow some articulation and to also to keep the look from head to toe. So kind of an interesting design from Mcfarlane Toys. So let's take a look at the articulation. With the head, we can look up just a little bit and look down a little bit there. We can turn side to side and just a little bit of tilting there. So not too bad. And in the shoulders, seems like there's a little bit of a butterfly joint, but it just doesn't move very much. So perhaps it's not meant to be a true butterfly joint there. But the shoulders go up. Now these joints are pretty loose. They go up very, very easily. A little bit of ratcheting, but extremely loose. And it's right out of the package. So I'm worried about how loose it is already. And the bicep cut. Now the easiest way to turn it is to hold on to the shoulder piece in order to turn the arm. Because the shoulders are so loose that in order to really turn the bicep cut, you have to hold on to it. So that works. Then we have double jointed elbows. Bends in more than 90 degrees, so pretty nice. And then at the wrist, we can turn, and I haven't noticed any other hinges or anything else. Nothing's giving way, so I'm not going to keep pushing because I don't want to break anything. So I don't think there's any other joints in the wrist. And then there's the diaphragm cut. You can move just a little bit, crunching forward a little bit, just a tiny bit, and then going back. Actually, this one's not really moving very much, so there's almost no point to it. Then there's a waist joint, but it's not really a cut. We can turn just a little bit, but it seems to be more of a ball where we can bend forward that much altogether and bend back that much. So I think there's a little ball in there. So diaphragm cut is virtually non-existent. There's almost no point to having it there at all. And then the waist, we can do the splits. So if we bend out, we bend the plastic here. I wonder if that will cause a problem over time. So we can do the splits that high on that side, and yeah, I think it'll stretch this plastic out a bit. So it might make a crease over time. We can kick forward just a little bit, just not very much there. We have to really push to get it that high. And then back a bit more. So not very good hip articulation there. And then double jointed knees. Takes a bit of work to get this lower one working. There we go. Takes a lot of work there. But when we do get it to work, it's pretty far there. That one's pretty stiff. This one, that'll work. It's pretty good there. It looks a little weird, but it bends. So, for me, making sure I can move the lower one first before moving the whole joint, it ensures that I can bend it. Otherwise, it's too stiff at the lower knee joint there. And then here, seems to be a little bit of a twist at the top part of this ankle here. And then the ankles can hinge down. And they hinge up quite a bit. Pretty nice. We have some ankle pivot. And toe articulation. So, a lot of the joints are working. The diaphragm cut is basically pointless, and the lower knee joints seem to be very, very stiff, so we want to be careful with those. The shoulder joints are extremely loose, but other than all that, the joints seem to be working. They're still in place. I'm just wondering about this design with this plastic waist part. So we'll see how that lasts, how long that lasts. And then we can get the action figure to stand. So, looks pretty nice. Here is Black Lantern Superman next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is a 4-inch Adventurer action figure from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. On the left is the 4-inch Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. A Superman, a zombified giant Superman would be really, really scary for anybody. Here is Black Lantern Superman next to a pair of 6-inch action figures. On the right is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin White Ranger. And on the left is the Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic action figure. Both of those are made by Hasbro. And I think both of them would be very scared of a large zombified Superman. Here is Black Lantern Superman with a Fortnite Legendary Series Havoc 6-inch action figure by Jazzwares on the left, and on the right is the Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure at 7 inches by Mattel. And I think both of them would also be scared of a zombified Superman. Here is Black Lantern Superman next to the other action figures from this wave that I have already reviewed. And they certainly do look like a scary bunch of super-powered zombies. The Green Lantern Kyle Rayner just doesn't stand a chance against them. So, all in all, they do look like a pretty nice group of action figures despite how ugly some of them are. The HammerTron Sledgehammer rating for Black Lantern Superman is, it's okay. Yeah, I can't put it up higher than okay due to a few things. The very loose shoulder joints have me concerned right out of the package, and it's just kind of ugly looking. Although it is kind of interesting. Now, as upset as the Black Lantern Superman is, a zombified Superman with a black power ring is still no match for my Sledgehammer. So it's still just okay. Looks kind of neat. It's a nice idea, and it would make a great enemy for Superman to put in a display. So thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.